All right, welcome in. Hey, this is Rhonda Liebig. I'm so happy you are here. And we're going to be sharing a lot. Now, if you did not get your fit quiz yet, we're going to be going through that probably on the third or fourth slide. We're just going to be high energy because we're going to learn so much about ourselves just in this 1 hour. So I am excited to share with you all these new tools that I've been using that actually truly have been around for thousands of years. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to be talking to you about who I am so that you know just kind of my journey, why you should be here, and what's the reason for really stopping and listening to what's going on. I'm going to share some case studies with you too. The case studies are going to help you connect with if you're stuck in your liver meridian or if you are stuck in your kidney meridian. And the quiz will help us with this. So if it doesn't make sense to you yet, but we're going to really be talking about where my clients were stuck and how they got the results and where they are now. And you're going to find that some of my clients got like 5% body fat just released within a month in all these different inches. So it's crazy because, in old school time, we were really thinking a lot about how we needed to count calories and how calories was it. And as we started aging, our bodies were just changing and we were looking older real quick and how we had more body fat than we used to have and how to control that. So there's these great tools out there, and it's really truly me just opening up an avenue for you to really start listening to your body more because we all intuitively have it. So just think of me as your guide today. I'm really going to pump it up, make sure that you know that I'm listening to you also. So if you have any questions at all, stop around and look back at my my area here and see if there's any questions in the chat area. So any questions, definitely send me a note there. So, okay, so 2 secrets revealed to a fit sensational spring body. So these secrets really are actually these 8 things we're going to be talking about. 8 things I'm going to ask you about your liver. 8 things I'm going to ask you about your kidneys. And then we're going to go in there and we're going to actually get 3 steps that you need to do right now to be able to get to know how to declog your body. So think of your body as a full energetic system, ready to move, but somehow just got clogged up. So have you ever had those mornings where you wake up and you go, oh my gosh, how did I gain all this weight? What happened? And so it just, we think that we're getting away with eating, maybe foods that aren't perfect for us. And we go, oh man, not gaining any weight. Boy, my body's doing really good. And then all of a sudden, bam, all this weight just appears. So I do talk a lot about weight, but you know what this whole story today really is about is encompassing your body to understand your organs and being able to help that because your organs keep the cycle going. When you are stressed, you can pinch certain organs in the circulation. So if you ever feel like when you're really stressed and you feel like your body just has like that pain, it can be pain in your legs, pain in your belly, pain in between your eyes, that affect really like the liver area, then you start realizing that we have a lot of control over our weight gain, a lot of control over how we react to life. But it just takes practice. We only know what we know at this point. So welcome in. Okay, so I call myself a coach in the know that drives results. And I have 5% body fat, which somebody lost in 1 month, 5 inches, which another client just recently we measured and found that she lost 5 inches in her whole body just within 1 month. Wonderful, huh? And then 2 inches off the hips. I have one client that came in and within a week, we actually measured her within a week, 2 inches off her hips. So this is crazy good stuff. The coach in the know is because I do so much research. So I have a lot of information, and sometimes I have to take a step back and realize that I'm not Google. And you can go out and Google and do google.com or whatever, but what I like to do is have that knowledge so I can bring you in different layers. So instead of it just being one level, we're going to bring it down real deep. And I'll talk about things that really are relatable with what we're talking about today. I'll talk about stories so you can relate with that. The case studies, you're really going to be able to relate because we've all been there. We've all had our stressors. The reason why I am here is because I've had bouts of depression, dealing with having a slow, sluggish metabolism, gaining weight really easily, losing hair, having problems with that. And so I've had to do my journey also. So as I'm coaching you, I feel like we all are consistently moving forward. So I'm still learning stuff about myself. I'm still learning how to be present with myself. And the practice gets easier and easier the more that you do it. Today, you're going to come out of here with 3 things that you're going to be able to utilize. These are the things that I use in my day-to-day life to keep myself balanced. So I'll find that I'm working too much or I'm just in too much in my head about certain things. And these are the tools I'm going to be using. I'll share with you. When I was 4 years old, um, let's say about 6 years old, because I can remember at a very, very, very young age. And I used to sit with my grandmother and I used to get really concerned about, our family and how people were getting sick. And it used to really upset me. And I used to think, well, we don't have any control over these things that are happening to us. And so I used to get really upset and think almost like a dark cloud over us. And I really got into working out as I started going through my junior high teenage years, and it really helped balance me. And as time went on, when I was 19, I started doing group exercise, and so I was very focused on working out, but I was missing those other components. So in my 20s, I was very emotional. I was very up and down. If anybody didn't like me, I tried to reset who I was just to listen to what they wanted from me. So I was even lost in who I was. And today, I'm not like that. So there's tools to be able to change the way that we think so that we can feel like we really know ourselves. And this is so important because the more that you step into a new relationship with work, with a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, husband-wife, even a relationship with your kids if you have kids, friends, whatever, the less that people will question you, the more that you stand strong in who you are. So these tools really are just like a healing process to go through. And I have people that are working with me that have very big emotional things going on. And I coach just like a holistic healing coach, which is as you start eating better and you start getting to know your body more, the more you're able to listen to yourself, the more changes you can make. And sometimes our deepest secrets that we've been holding on for so long sometimes really aren't that bad. We realize that we're a lot like everybody else. And I felt that way in my 20s and 30s, and I felt like I didn't like myself. So what it came down to is I started writing this book, and I'm a #1 best-selling author on Amazon. So it's called The Fit Solution: 4 Steps to a Sexy, Successful, Authentic You. And all of that is so important, being authentic, sexy, feeling like, yes, I feel beautiful and just incredibly awesome. Looking at yourself and really accepting who you are. And the fit is what I'm going to be focusing on today. It's my signature way of being able to guide you through all the way to the end so you can visualize how you're going to implement it into your world. So it's focus, integrate, transform, and thrive. All 4 of those steps are going to go through. And I'm not going to go into detail what they are, but I'll just guide you through as we're going along. So my why I'm here is I'm on the same journey you are. I'm just going in deeper and deeper, and you're going to be going in deeper than you were today. When you came in, you're going to come out differently. So what is your why? What brought you here? What is happening for you? So what is it that keeps you up at night regarding your health? And you're going to see that there are 5 bullet points here. The first bullet points are questions that I always ask when people come in and they're talking and working with me. And I work through the internet. I work through on the phone or local where I live in California. And when you start connecting with what your why is, that's where the momentum is. That's where you find your pain and the changes you want to make. Because the first thing is the first step is really acknowledging the pain that you have and how much you want to change it. So what is it that keeps you up at night regarding your health? Is it that your brain feels chaotic and you have a hard time sleeping, so you wake up in the middle of the night and you just know you're not going to go back to sleep for a while? That you just can't because you have too much going on in your head. That would be mental health, feeling like you don't have a lot of stability. Sometimes when you're eating the wrong foods, that mental health will get even worse. Is it waking up in the middle of the night or not being able to sleep because you feel overly stressed with your day and you don't have the tools to be able to really center and balance yourself? Is it that, holy moly, how did I gain all this weight? Whatever it is, I want you to answer that right now. What is it that keeps you up at night regarding your health? Now, if you got the download, The last page you can write notes on. So I want to make sure you do that because it'll just help you with being able to come back to this video, because you're going to have a link once you are done with me today, and you'll be able to rewatch the video and see what kind of ahas that you had. Second thing is, what is the biggest struggle that you deal with on your day-to-day life? So when you're out there doing your work, doing stuff that's really important to you, and you find that, you maybe you have the 3 p.m. slump where you feel like I am done for the day at a certain point of the day, and you eat your sugar or your caffeine, you keep yourself going. You do something to kind of declog your body, but you end up clogging your body up more because you get that little jump from whatever you're eating or drinking, and then all of a sudden again, you're struggling again. So sometimes we could also have fear and trepidation with our day. So the biggest struggle could be is that we feel like we're not living to our pure, authentic self, and that sometimes can be a real struggle. I know for me, that was a really big pain in me, is that I felt like I wasn't being myself, but I didn't know how to explain that to myself, to be able to make those changes. And so it took me a while to realize how wishy-washy I looked when I would act like I do, and people were turned off from it, whoever that was. Maybe if you're not with the right people, or maybe it was just because I was just kind of being silly and people didn't understand me, whatever it is. I struggled with having relationships, good relationships. And when I first walked in, people liked me. And then as time went on, I had people that just didn't know who I was. I was trying to struggle to try and be something that I thought that they wanted to be. So what's your biggest struggle in the day-to-day life? Really good question, because we're just connecting with your journey and why you're here. If you're able to learn how to do one thing for your health, what would it be? Like being able to bring more energy into your life, being able to really nurture your relationships. I was very closed off with my relationships, and I noticed that my heart was closed off a lot. And sometimes when we have struggles in our younger life, we take that on as something bigger as we grow up, and it just becomes something that becomes us. And so I had a lot of working to do. So if you have something in your past that haunts you, something that just was not right, and you haven't really dealt with that, that's something that, that's like it brings in a lot of sabotage through your day. So that might be one of those things that you want to work on. I mean, we're talking deep stuff here. Today, if you're feeling really light, it might be light stuff, and that's fine too, because any little thing that you're thinking about, I want you to write it down. Writing is just speaking to yourself. Also, what would you do to get these results and have a breakthrough that would make you happy? This is the biggest question I have for you. What would you do? Would you do these 3 steps I'm going to coach you in today? Are you ready for results? Truly, that's a big question. Are you ready for the results? Are you okay when you start losing weight? Or do you feel like you have to gain weight back because you feel uncomfortable? Or you keep telling yourself that you can't lose weight? If you mentally start feeling good, are you going to feel like maybe your friends look at you differently and you're very concerned about that? I know I felt that way. But what would you do to get that breakthrough that would make you happy? And is happiness something that's very important to you that you're not dealing with in the right format in your mind? Sometimes we think if we're really happy, that it's an uncomfortable feeling. And so we try and, bring chaos into our life, and we just are addicted to chaos. Addicted to chaos. 4 questions. I hope you got some good stuff out of that, because let's transition, and this is your why, and keep connected with that, because I'll be talking back to these questions. Let's take your quiz. Okay, so if you got a chance, I want you to take your quiz right now. So you see how there's 8 questions on the top, that's your kidneys, 8 questions on the bottom, which is your liver. Now what happens is when your kidneys are out of not circulating the way they should, when there's not enough water going through to the head, to the toes, to that circulation where your feet or your hands get really cold, you're going to live in fear and trepidation. Not having the balance in your body is going to have a big effect, a very, very big effect on how you relate with your day. And then loss of will. So if you're in, a party situation, and no matter what, you're always going to go for the worst thing that that you think is the worst thing. Lots of cookies, or eating lots of stuff like that. Or if you are just at a restaurant and there's no way that you can order anything else but the fattest, fries and burgers and all that kind of stuff, which sometimes it's okay to do. But if you find yourself in a situation constantly and you're never really taking the road that you know is the best for you, then that's loss of will. And then also cannot move beyond fears. No, not being able to move beyond fears is pretty darn scary, because living in the fear, which I've done most of my life, I used to wake up every morning being afraid. Every morning. How painful is that? I know that you must have something of, just thinking about like something that you just want to get rid of. So if you're stuck in the kidneys, you're going to have emotional feelings like this. You want to look at, like, if you have swollen under the eyes, that's a direct connection to the meridian point of your kidneys and bladder. Losing hair in the front, so your frontal lobe right above there. Pinky toe is red, or it hurts. That's on that part right there. That's part of your kidneys. And then also getting up in the middle of the night. I have a client right now that she has kidney stones and she has to go pee all the time, and she deals with that. So check mark whatever ones did not do that you're dealing with right now. Liver, problems with dry eyes, headache on the side of the head, because that's your meridian point on the outside. 2 lines in between the eyes. So in between the eyes, if you're scrunching in between those eyes all the time, that's a direct pinching right on the liver, and that liver needs to be open and free. Big toe aching. Again, that's just a meridian point. And I bring that up because I've always dealt with having ingrown toenails. But it's not constant. It just comes and goes. And we always wonder, well, why does it go? Why does it, why is it here and there? But sometimes it's gone and doesn't do anything. And a lot of it is because our liver is out of balance. And so it's going to really make that area more sensitive, and things are going to start happening. So think about that. Hip or shoulder hurt. I have a client I'm going to introduce you to, Monica, and her whole right side was hurting her really bad. She drives 6 hours a day, really intense lifestyle for her work, and so that's a big deal. Also, having a hard time starting the day. The enzymes from the liver, that's where you're going to get that. Also, easily angered, easily frustrated. So tally it up and put in there where you are stuck. Is it kidneys or liver? If it's even, I would focus more on the kidneys. Then from there, it'll fall out which one, kidneys or liver. All right. So put your results down. Let's just kind of keep that in mind as we move forward. But write down in your notes where you are stuck. All right. So this is heavy stuff. We're just going to roll the shoulders back. Be present with me here. Take a big inhale. Just open up that chest. Open up the belly. Shake it out. A little shimmy there. And drop the ears right and left on the shoulder. So happiness is not the belief that we don't need to change. It's the realization that we can. Sean Acor. The realization that we can. Today, I'm going to give you tools. Get in your, just breathe it in. Nice breathing in, that the realization that all you need is just to understand your body so that you can move on. So you find that happiness factor. Sean Acor is incredible. If you haven't read any of his books, he has 2 books out there, 2 to 3 books. Just incredible guy. So let me introduce you to Michaela. Michaela was stuck in her liver and gallbladder. So if you're in the liver part, this is what you really want to be looking at. But also, even if you're stuck in the kidneys, we get shifted back and forth because our body is very dynamic. So this is actually good for everybody. So she lost 7 pant sizes, size 22 to 15. Incredible. And she's slimming down even more. Whew, it's crazy. Michaela's success for getting these results, I'm going to have a next section here where we're going to see more results, but she had to deal with portion control. She would eat till her belly hurt really bad. She had to clear mental sabotages, meaning I don't like you because of this and that. As you gain weight, your hormones get out of imbalance. Sometimes you even get purple skin as you start gaining more and more weight. So it's really looking at how you're affecting yourself with the mental, just being kind of shifted in the wrong way. So clearing mental sabotage is being able to listen to yourself and the stuff that you say negative to yourself. I have a client right now where she rolls her eyes every time when we discuss like her connecting with herself and loving herself. So loving yourself is important because you're not going to get anywhere if you keep telling yourself, how you're not special. So get with the program. So clearing mental sabotage is she started working on. Also working out. She had asthma really bad. She had an asthma attack. She was very, very afraid. to even work out, but she knew she wanted to get her body moving. So now she's working out really, really hard, but it took a while. There's a lot of fear and trepidation with that. Changing food choices. She was eating fast food every day, and she was drinking soda every day. And I think every meal was fast food. Crazy, huh? Boy, oh boy. And then making a commitment to herself, like literally having strategies and following them from the coaching. That she also, when she's making a commitment to herself, that she followed the discipline along with it, because discipline is really important. So this is Michaela now. On the left side is when she first started working with me. And I wish we had a side view here, because now when I look at this picture, it's like, well, she actually was even bigger than even this when she came in. This is how she was doing bigger changes. But this is where she is now. Lost 22 pounds, 14.5 inches, 7 pant sizes, 7.5% body fat. We're going to be doing her stats pretty soon here. So I'm expecting her to, just change even more. It's really, really incredible. So what she had to deal with is that she was stuck in her liver. And I want you to focus in on how you're feeling today. If you're in the liver section, let's talk about these 10 areas that you can be stuck. Abdominal bloating, pain or discomfort over the liver. So right under the under the rib cage is where the liver is, and that's where you're going to have your issues. Excessive abdominal fat. So the whole thing about the cleansing of the blood and being able to really move and circulate the blood, the hormones are going to go just out of whack, and then your belly is going to become bigger. Trouble digesting fatty foods, because we're talking about your gallbladder too. Gallbladder and liver work together to release the bile, to release and break down the fatty foods. Also, if you don't have a gallbladder anymore, I have 5 clients that do not have gallbladders right now. So there's a hole in that space where the gallbladder used to be, and you just may be feeling stuck because there's nothing there anymore, and your body actually really truly struggles with that. The doctor will tell you it takes about a year, but there's other stuff that goes on in the system that if you have a gallbladder issue where you got it removed, you definitely need to have a cleanse quarterly, because the liver just does 3 times the work than what it used to. Also, acid reflux, heartburn, dark spots on the skin, overheating of the body and excessive perspiration, acne, rosacea, or itchy, blotchy skin, unexplained weight gain and inability to lose weight, even with calorie restriction. So we're going in deeper. We're not discussing calories. We're going to go in a different layer. But if you restricted your calories and you have nothing's shifted, I've had a client like that before. And so then this is where your work starts. Now we're going to transition into the kidney area. So I'm going to give you 5 signs of kidneys that need to be cleansed. Leg and back pain, hurting, because the meridian point for the kidneys goes all the way through the backside. So the back of the legs can get real tight, the hips and the back. Urinary urgency. So since the kidneys and the bladder work together, you're going to have constant feeling like you're having some urinary issues. Fatigue. Your adrenal glands get overworked so much. And so what happens is your body gets overly fatigued because it's always in that fight or flight syndrome, and there's no way of relaxing it. So as you start cleansing your kidneys, then you start really making a big difference. Swelling. So you have your kidneys and bladder are not working well together, or one of them is having an issue. So the swelling gets really bad because it doesn't have anywhere to go. It just kind of builds up and builds up in your body. And then irritated skin. So if you have rashes and stuff like that, the extra water that should be in your system, it's having issues or it's stagnant, you're going to have irritated skin. So why do you need to know where you're stuck? I mean, why do you need to know? Why are we talking about this as like this is like the ultimate, this is the most important thing to know? I've broken down if you're stuck in the liver. I've broken down if you're stuck in the kidneys. Well, you know what the difference is in the lifestyle, in the ways that you're stuck right now. You want to approach it differently, because each organ needs to be treated differently. And if you know anything about the chakras, or you've heard about the chakras, it has a lot to do with emotional connection and your hormones, and also your endocrine system, so how your whole hormone system is working. So if you know the separation of which one you're really struggling with, then you can start working on that area, and start shifting. And the reason why you can't lose weight is because your body's just stuck and it's going to hold on to it for as long as it starts feeling like it's not under any kind of really bad situation. So this is Monica Pino. She's my second case study, my last one. What's really wonderful about Monica is that she, when she came in, she was crying quite a bit. She had a very, very difficult time because what happened was she lost quite a few people in her family. And I think at some point she lost her job. And just things were not going well for her. And she gained tons of weight. She ended up having her gallbladder taken out. And so her body was just not dealing with it well, not dealing with anything well. But the main areas that she actually is dealing with right now is the kidneys and the bladder. So what we did is we really started looking at the pains in her body and what was going on. And she had a lot of fear because she'd just get up in the morning and just feel fearful. She didn't want to start her day, even though she used to leave her house about 4:30, something like that. She was also very stressed with her busy job since she's already busy at work, but it's 6 hours drive round trip. She lost weight when we first started working out together, and then she gained it back. And this is her last December. All of a sudden, she just gained weight back. So we started working on her meridian points, and this is how she looked within a month and a half. Big, big difference. So for her, she just needed some shifts here and there. And she has a hard time eating vegetables. So if that's you, where you just have a hard time eating vegetables, this is a great story because you can still get shifts as you're starting to change your palate and get used to eating more vegetables. But yeah, she still kind of gets a little freaked out about talking about vegetables. So that happens. But you know, we're all at different levels. There's no such thing as oh, excuse me, I have to sneeze, I think. There's no such thing as judgment, because again, like we always talk about, is that everything's at layers. If you take something at face value, you're going to realize that you're going to shortchange yourself with wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friendships that you can have, to, you know, saying yes in your life more and being able to be more open with things. So what happened is, within a month, she lost 4.5 inches in her body. And she just said, I am just going for it. And she really took her time, where she lost 4 inches plus her body fat at 5.6%. This is just within a month. Incredible. Very, very proud of her. Her and I did like 4 or 5 videos, but it was for a program I'm building. And I haven't released it on my YouTube channel, but she's just great. She's just great. And she looks, this is when we knew she was looking better. Well, she's even looking better now. So you'll see, just recently we just did another video and she's just looking awesome. So just all that stuff. Okay, so as we've been going through, you've already found out where you're stuck. And you've already found out why this is important. And it's not just about being able to think about specific foods. I want you outside of your kitchen and not thinking about your kitchen. If you think about your kitchen, the concern is that you're going to feel like you have to prep food and you have to do all these different things. But you know, it's good to start your plan and get yourself moving forward. So if you're dealing with liver and gallbladder meridian, this is your 14-day plan. This is something that you can do if you are stepping into it. So remember the questions I had up above, and we were discussing what would you do to get these results? Look at the 3 things that you need to do. 14-day plan. Restrict fast foods and fried foods. Can you do that? Avoid sugar, soda, refined carbohydrates. So think about that. Soda. Do you drink soda quite often? If you're drinking coffee, are you putting sugar in it? Can you put Truvia or stevia maybe instead of just regular sugar? Refined carbohydrates. Oh my gosh. My husband is so funny. Of course, you know, with me having this business and going through health coaching school and then really learning a lot about all these different things about food, of course, I'm going to be more advanced than the family. I have 2 kids and all this. So I have started, you know, just slowly changing things around the house and then talking to the family about it, because, you know, making sure everybody's on board. And again, no judgment. and no forcing. It's that you really have to be very, very strong in your stance of how important this is, but no fighting about it, because this is so important that you don't want to turn somebody off. And so when we first got together, we used to have, chicken and vegetables, and we'd have rice-a-roni. Oh my gosh, we're eating so good. And the thing is, this way of eating may be good for you relative to where you are. Just depends on different levels that you're at. But to me now, if I eat rice-a-roni, I feel like it's candy because it just dissolves in your body, and we just don't realize it if we're already eating like that, because that's just, that's just what we're used to. So if ever and my husband goes shopping, I always know he's going to come home with 10 boxes of rice-a-roni or rice-a-roni pasta or whatever. And so it's funny because that would be, to me, that would be like refined carbohydrates. So white rice, things like that. So for 14 days, what else could you do? What else could you do besides, you could do adding some different things for sugar, trivia stevia. You could be using sparkling water and putting some fruit in there, anything that tastes good. And then really watching and eating more like quinoa and doing things that have like black rice, red rice, brown rice, whatever. And then exercising 30 to 40 minutes per day. So is that going for a walk? Is that, walk, running, cycling, yoga? All of that is wonderful for your liver and gallbladder. So my last question before we first really started was, what would you do if you could get these changes? Just these 3 things are going to make it incredibly beautiful. You're going to have such big changes just within the 14 days. Now, if you found yourself that you were stuck in the kidney and bladder meridian for your 14-day plan, I want you to avoid raw and cold food drinks. So I have a new client, and she was saying how she's juicing. And, the juicing is raw food. And she thinks that she's doing, wonderful things for her body. Guess what? She probably is. But for right now, she needs to take a break for a while and stay away from that stuff, so then she can be chewing her food, letting the saliva work to really break it down, really thinking about the food that you're eating. When you have cold stuff and it has a lot of calories, or it's just raw, your body sometimes doesn't digest it. So sometimes you need to slow down and allow your body to digest better. So avoiding anything with juicing or basically even like mixed drinks that are really cold. Also stretch, reaching to your toes. That's basically just stretching. Give yourself 5 minutes to stretch. So you can be sitting on the floor and reach for your toes, which is really hard stretch to do. But it really releases a lot of stress. You'll even notice a big difference if you start your day like that. Or just standing up and reaching for your toes and holding it there as you lift your hips up to the sky, really lengthening the back of the legs. Because again, that's the whole backside is your meridian point for water. So if your body really isn't absorbing the water enough, or things going on, then you're going to notice that you're really tight back there. And be fearless. So if you find that you've been stopping yourself from really stepping into new things, I want you to think about being fearless, because with kidney bladder, this is where fear and trepidation comes in, and you really want to take care of yourself emotionally. So the things that stop us are the things that are going to push us forward. Hey, I read that on social media today. It sounds great though, right? So the things that you go, oh, I need to be going and doing this, and you just keep tiptoeing around it and not doing it. When you finally do it, you feel that release of energy, like, oh my gosh, I would have done that sooner. So be fearless. All right, kidney, bladder people, I want you to focus on those 3 steps. Liver, gallbladder, focus on these 3 steps. The fat is very important, because when your liver and gallbladder are having issues, or you do not have a gallbladder, then you need to really be careful about how much fat you're having. So it's so important to be connected with that. So let me share with you, now that you know if you're stuck in the liver or you're stuck in the kidneys, I really want you to think about this. Why is it important to detox these systems? So many reasons that we went over, with being able to balance the hormones, to really working through some fears that we have, because that all translates with emotions, being able to work through if we get mad easily, because if our liver gallbladder is not in unison, or one of them is struggling, you're going to have issues. So I'm going to share with you the detox that I have. And this is so important because now that you know the difference, I'm going to coach you into what level you should be having for the detox. So if you are, I want you to open a new tab, rhondaliebig.com/detox blood reset. And just look down and scroll down as I'm talking. So it's a hyphen in between the detox and then the blood and reset. And I want you to think about this. Since our immune system is wrapped around the intestines, it gets clogged and we get sick easier. So Lori, who did the detox last time, which I do it every quarter, so it was the fall one, the winter one, she said that's the first winter she hasn't had a cold in years because she was able to declog her system and help it flow. Help it flow. 80% around our whole system there. So you have to be real careful with what you put in. Oh, okay, so let's just take a moment here because now I'm asking you to do 3 new things that you haven't done before. I'm starting to talk to you about the detox and discussing, why that's important. Why is it important to cleanse your system? So we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So if you tiptoe around stuff, you're not going to be able to get real good at it. If you really step into the 3 new things that I gave you and you're stepping into the cleanse today, then excellence is going to happen because it's going to become a habit. You're going to start really thinking more about what you're putting in your mouth, thinking more about lifestyle stuff and what you're doing and how you can balance things even more. Even if you have kids that are in sports, you can have time for yourself, which is 5 minutes. Give yourself that time. Give back to yourself. The more that you practice, the more the excellence will stand there for you, where you don't have to think about it too much. When you first start doing stuff, you have to overthink it sometimes just to get it right. But we are talking about that you tiptoe in, do little things here and there, and get it to where you feel like it's easy to do. So people who have taken the detox, the last one was the winter detox, and look at the range of weight that people lost. 8 pounds, 6, 4, 2 pounds. Big range, but listen to this. Lost 2 inches off the waistline, less mucus, and increased energy. Increased energy, less mucus. So in the head, if you feel like you're snoring at night, or if you feel like you have this extra mucus in your ear, in your head, and you have ringing in your ears, that's not normal. The kidneys are directly connected with the ears. If you open up the kidneys, they look exactly like the ears. So if you have ringing, extra water, the cleanse is going to help get that system balanced. So I want you to give me just 14 days with the Signature Fit Coaching Detox support so that you have all this wonderful stuff going on, feeling energized, balancing your blood sugar, which is the ultimate. Balancing your blood sugar, losing 8 pounds, 2 inches off the hips, less mucus. And I want you to go to rhondaliebig.com, detox blood reset. Now, this isn't on any regular page because I'm going to give you a special price today while you're with me. You're going to learn, you're going to be coached. You're going to learn how to really step into a daily ritual. You're going to have a private Facebook group, so you're with the same tribe is bettering your life, getting your body back to balance, feeling strong in your body. And that's every day at 10 o'clock in the morning. If you're not available, all this stuff is still there in the Facebook group that you want to be able to, read and take your time so that you can really absorb what's happening. And then you have coaching calls. And those coaching calls bring you through step by step how to make it through your week. The first week of the detox, the first 7 days, is clean, pure detox. Special foods for your kidneys and for your liver, depending on which cleanse is going to be for you. The second week is about re-implementing foods back into your life that are still incredibly good for you that maybe you weren't doing before, where you get new recipes. 40-page workbook. It's incredible. A lot of stuff there. But really connecting with the daily ritual so you have more success. You're going to have specific exercises for the first week because you're going to be working on which meridian. They're going to be working on the kidney or the liver. This stretch right here is specific to your kidneys, opening up that circulation. And you're going to have some great leads on what you should be doing right now. So specific exercises, you'll notice differences right away. You're also we're even going to have one of our coaching sessions where we're holistically going to start looking at our face, looking at our tongue, so that in our second week, we can really start looking at what we need to do and what kind of foods we should be eating. And just by looking at this, if you think about your body as a full energetic system, it's so easy to understand that this is the right way to be able to really see you. Because if you go to the doctors and say, I'm so tired, I feel this and that, the doctor's going to take blood tests and they're going to say, nope, you're fine, you're healthy. Not all the time, but most of the time. And you're like, oh my gosh, then why do I feel like this? And so that's the beginning of your journey being with me here, is learning about your healthy body to even get it even healthier, so that you have more energy, so that you feel vibrant, so that you take those years off your body that your cells are just been toxic. We're going to cleanse it and work through all those different things of emotions too. So here's your steps. I really, really, really want you to be here with me if this sounds something incredibly awesome for you. You get your coaching in Facebook. You get your private Facebook group. You get to start hanging out with the tribe that's working for things just like you. And then you have your coaching sessions. And then you have your workbook that you get. And you have all these extra special things that you can have right now, getting your journey going. So I want you to go on to rondaliebig.com, Detox Blood Reset, and I want you to look at which package looks great. So the gold package is everything that I said, which is the workbook, all the coaching, everything. The platinum is normally $199. It's $99 today, and that is where you get all of supplements. There's going to be 4 sets of supplements, and that gives you a list on this page, the Detox Blood Reset. And you have all the same stuff that the gold package has, except you get supplements that are worth $100. So this detox is 50% off for you listening to this video. $99, usually $199, $49 for the gold package, which is normally $99. So the gold package is everything from all the coaching, the workbook, and everything. The difference is the platinum, you get 4 sets of supplements that are going to be able to really kickstart your day, kickstart your afternoon. And that is going to be $100 worth of supplements. So your first step is to decide which cleanse do you want. Do you want one that has all the supplements? Do you want the gold package, which is just really wonderful, great stuff too? When you get on the page, you're also going to have to decide which one you're going to click. Are you going to do the platinum? And is the platinum going to be for your kidneys or for your liver? You're going to look at the gold. Is the gold package is what you want? But do you want the liver cleanse, or do you want the kidney cleanse? Now, this is really important because we just figured out and did all this work figuring out which one we needed. Now you have a detox that's going to help. Within 14 days, you're going to be clearing that stuff, and you're going to reset your system. So use the link and sign up, because next Monday is when we start. So I'd love for you to join me, be part of the process. And if you have anything else that you want to add in, I would love to answer any questions. Definitely use that link and check out what's going on. All right, so we are going to be heading out here. If you have any other questions, you can leave messages under the video when you get the replay button. Or you can even contact me at rondaliebig.com. So I want you to hang in there, get ready for the cleanse if you're going to step into it today, and I will catch up with you soon. You have a fit day.